Hello and welcome to Bespoke Oak, a new channel I'm doing to different ways of jointing and hiding screws. I'm currently selling plugs and pellets online on eBay. I think that you see will be available for you to buy off my shop. So today we're going to be setting up and using different plugs. So here we have a mushroom headed 12mm plug and a dowel plug. You've got a dome headed 12mm oak plug and a flush cross grain plug. So these start out life like this. This is the 12mm dowel plug, and once you've drilled a hole and set it in, it becomes a feature of the wood. So it's designed so it looks like you've used a dowel or a joint. You've got the 12mm mushroom, which has got a slight little tenon on the end, so it sits in, it's up and it sits round. There's no need to clean off. And then you've got a little dome headed 12mm oak plug, which is a very nice way of doing it. It looks a bit more discreet than the mushroom, which I quite like. And then you've got the 12mm cross grain. So this one's designed so you just drill a 6mm hole deep by 12mm and just tap it in with a hammer, and then there's no need to clean off with a saw or chisel. It just remains flush. You just give it a little sand. All these can be glued in, and as you can see, it's a very neat way of hiding your screws or making it look like you've put a joint in, yet you haven't. So I'm just going to do a quick video on jointing up some bits. So here we have 4 bits of European oak. Got some lovely quarter sawn on here. So I'm going to be making a square, it's like a rectangle wall mounted shelf, little cupboard. So I'm going to be fixing these 4 together like so, and then we're going to be putting some of the plugs in, just so you guys can see how you can hide the screws. So to start with, I'm going to mark out and drill all the holes that I need, so then I can attach this and put the plugs in. And afterwards I'm going to be going over with it with some bespoke oak wax that we produce here in the UK ourselves. I can ship all across the world. It's a small tin, but it goes a long way, and it's my own mixture of a clear, because you don't want to be using too much stain or anything like that to hide all this nice characteristics. You want a nice clear finish that will protect the wood, and this wax does that. It's an internal wax, so suitable for inside use only. But again, this is available on my eBay shop. So I'll start by marking out and drilling the holes. I'm using my decking screws that I also sell online on eBay. These come in 3 different sizes, and they come in 50mm, by 4.5s, 60mm by 4.5s, and 75 by 4.5s. So this is the ones I sell at the moment, and these are the 60mm that I'm going to be using. If this was going to be used for an outside, I'd be using stainless steel fixings in oak, just because you have a bit of a reaction, but just for an internal shelf, cupboard hole would be fine. So I'm just going to mark out what we want to do. I've selected these screws 60mm, as you can see, because we're going to be drilling in the depth of the plug, and then we're going to be setting the screw in so far. So what I like to do is, whatever the thickness of the wood that the screw's going in, the remaining thickness, that's what I like, is the length. So this doesn't matter so much because it's not going to take that much weight and it's going to be glued. But if I was doing an internal, so if I was doing a fixing that would be taking any stress or strain, I'd like plenty of meat left on the screw. So what I'm going to do is mark out half the way down. I'm going to put some light pencil marks. Don't want to be marking too hard because we don't want to be sanding them back off, just so we know where we're going to start screwing, and that's going to be half the thickness of the wood. So this is 32mm, so that would be 16mm in to start with. Move this out of the way. So 16mm in. Put it on both sides. And then, so we know we're going very faint pencil lines. And what we've got to think about is whereabouts we want these plugs to sit. We don't want them too close to the edge. We don't want them too close in, because obviously screws won't be doing anything. So, as you can see, with that looks about right, which would be 16mm by 16. So now we know that we're going to go there. We can set up a combination square, 16mm in, and then we can just put a little dot where we're going. Let me just do this to all of them then. So this is just a little demonstration really of the plugs and pellets that you can buy off me online. I post out, sell them in 10s, 25s, 50s and 100. And I do lots of different types of mushrooms, mostly in oak, but I do a few other materials. As you can see now, I've got all the marks where I want to be. I haven't done big pencil marks across, I've just done little faint lines. We'll quickly draw them. So I've got a 12mm spur drill bit. And what I'm going to do, set up for this one. So the depth for this one is 6mm. So what we want to do is mark on there 6mm and put some tape around So then we know how deep to drill. I'm going to be using a bit of black tape because that's all I could find this morning. I'm going to set it just a fraction deeper. There you go. So now that is set, I can drill these holes. Always check before drilling any holes that your plugs are going to fit nicely into your drill bit. So that's perfect, just sits in, and when I tap that in with the hammer, I'll leave it just about flush. I've already tested my drill bit earlier this morning, so that's okay. So because we're going to be using these screws, what we're going to do, because we're drilling into oak, we're going to drill a clearance hole into the one we've just drilled, and then I'm going to drill a pilot hole into the other two pieces, just so you don't get any screws snapping off. Sometimes there's no need to, but just for demonstration purposes. So your clearance hole wants to be, as it suggests, a clearance, so your thread should be completely covered by your drill bit, so you shouldn't be able to see any thread. When I drill the hole, there should be no resistance, whereas this one, as you can just see on the camera, you can just see the thread, so it will pull into the other one. Again, we'll test that. So we'll go ahead with the clearance hole and drill them 8 holes. I'll just drill the first one. Drill it nice and straight. So the clearance hole, the screw should drop in, there's no resistance there. It's not pulling, just push straight in. That's a good clearance hole. I'll go ahead and just drill these. Brilliant. That's them drill. Got nice flat surface. Again, we want to make sure that our oak's the way that we want it to be. Now this bit, you don't want to be turning anything around. You want to make sure. If you turn stuff around, it won't fit. We're going to drill some pilot holes. So making sure it's flush on the end and flush on the top. We're just going to slowly push it in until we're at the desired depth. If you look for the screw, when we drill that in, we're going to be about right there. But if it wasn't deep enough, what we'd have to do is drill in and then remove this and then drill again. I'll be okay with this one. Just hold that. Drill the first one. Oh, it's perfect because of the hole. This does actually go through, so we're going a little bit deeper than we need to. That's good. That's that one done. We won't turn it on. But now, as you can see, there's a hole there. That is screwing in just by hand. It's not hard to screw in. It's just enough for it to bite. And as you can see, the thread's starting to form. But if we was to have that too tight, again, you can snap the screw. If it's too loose, it wouldn't pull in. Let me just quickly drill all these. Again, keeping them flush. What a lot of people don't do is do a pilot hole and then they're struggling. To line things up. So make pre-drill once the glue goes on. Nothing can move. So I haven't moved anything around, even though I've been moving bits. Nothing spun around, so it'll stay the same. So now I'm going to put a bit of glue on. Use the screws. Screw it together. You don't need too much glue. You don't want it spurting out everywhere. You just need enough just to seal the joint. So, any movement. So I'm just going to apply a little bit, I'm not turning anything around. He wants to. So I won't apply any too close to the edge. And then I won't turn it around. Don't need dowels everywhere. Just using PVA for this because it's an internal one, even though this is a waterproof style. Don't need any fancy premium glues. This is fine. When I did my apprenticeship, that's all we used was PVA glue to do stairs, doors, windows, everything. And now you've got loads of different stuff. It's just going to go together like that. And the screws. So you can see brilliant. And that's it. Move you back a bit. There you go. So if you look in the holes, you've got the screws. They're in there. We haven't got loads of glue everywhere. We've got loads of cleaning up. That's going to go on the wall, that way around. You could mount it that way, couldn't you? I'll mount it that way with the ornament on. Right, so what we need to do now just put a little tiny bit of glue on the plugs and tap them in. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have two different types. I'm going to have the flattened grain in these ones to start with, and then on underneath I'm going to have some of the end grain ones, end grain plugs, so you can see the difference. Tiny bit of glue. Don't need too much. Just going to dip that in. I tend to do this method because I find it coats the slab a bit better. So this one we've just got to line the grain up. So show where the grain's going. Line it up. And that one just pushes in. So I'm just going to lightly tap that one in. Not it, it's just going to do a bit noisy. Just with a bit of sandpaper, clean this off. So these top corners, I'll put just these cross grain. They're called, glue on there. Just not too much, a bit much last time I think. Not perfect. You see, it's a quick way of doing it. You don't have to do loads of sanding, especially once you've got it right. And on this end, I'm going to do a couple of the mushroom ones, the domed ones I think. I won't put any glue on because I'm going to take them out later. And see how nicely they push it. I'll change these later for some different ones. One of each. One on each side. And the domed ones. And stay flush. Just above flush. Pencil off. Alright, so these ones, nice, stay just above flush. I'll put them on the outside so when you see it, it's like that. What I'll do, I'll take all the arris off, so all the sharp edges off. And the top one, I'll sand off that other one. Not sure what it's like, but what I want to do, because if you was doing this as a proper jointed frame, you'd have tenons coming through here. So what I want to do is do it so if the tenon was going through there, you'd put a peg through there to hold the joint together. So what we can do two ways. You could either use these flush ones, so it looked like the dowel was cut off. We could put that on and it would remain flush. But what I want to do, because I quite like them, is use these ones again, just on each corner, just so we can see what it looks like. And then perhaps on the back I could do the other ones, just so you can see. So it's nice and simple, same drill. Just got to watch you don't hit the screws. And this time I'm not even going to mark it, I'm just going to guess the middle both ways. And then just drill down to the tape line. I do quite a rustic finish on some stuff and it looks really good. So now let's drill the other side. So it looks like as well, it's a bit plainer on this side, as you can see, not so much quarter sawn timber. Again. There you go. Right, I'll start off by this side. This is the back side. Just showing what it looks like. I'm going to use the dowel plugs. Which are the ends where you want. Fit in. Right. Straight away looks like I put it down. Too much glue on, I can wipe it off with a damp rag. We'll do this side, just get a little sand. You can see it's quite an effective way of doing them types of joints. Just looks like I've put a dowel on. Take the edge off, the iris off, go all the way around. There's any joints like this one just hasn't quite, it's closed up a bit. The saw might have not matched in the saw, so just work a bit of PVA in, like so, and just sand it. And what will happen is the sawdust fills up the crack and the glue holds it in place. It's a very effective way of doing it. There we go. Go to that bit more of a sand. And this is quite a coarse sandpaper. I'll be going down from a, I think this is an 80, no it's 100, go down to 120 on the next sand to get it even good, even better. And this side, I'm just going to sand all these joints first before I put the other ones in. I just want a little bit. Brilliant. So what I'll do now, just tap these in. Again with a tiny bit of glue. Bit of rag if you've got one. As you can see, that looks really nice and they just stand out just a bit overgrown compared to these ones. Look good, especially once you oil them or put some wax on. Obviously these like this even better, so what I might do is change these two. I don't glue them ones in, and when it's on the wall you have these joints showing. Well, could have done the mushroom ones, but I think on this the mushroom ones might have looked a bit too big sticking out. Okay, so I'll carry on, just clean that up a little bit more, and then I'll show you what we do with the wax. Cheers. I'll show. Now I'm going to get these dowels out. Now I'll put the same ones in as this side. So these are the flush ones. I think these look really nice, especially on the top. Like I won't bother with the bottom. So simply put a screw in the centre of it and screw it in. What should happen is it'll pop it out as it hits the other screw. It's nice and simple. Even if it was glued, you can use that method, it works. And that for years. Same this side, put it in the centre of the one you want to come out. Changes. Sometimes your screw won't go back in once it's set. There you go. Split that one as well and got it out. Mushroom, the difference between the mushroom and the mushroom sticks out a little bit more, which is nice in certain scenarios, but for this I think they're going to go the best. That's a 12mm dome headed plugs. A little bit of glue on these ones there. Just tap them into where you want them. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share so I can make more videos like this. And don't forget to check out the next video where I'm going to be waxing this frame with my bespoke oak wax. Thanks for watching. Check out some of the products at the end of this video. You can find them all in my shop. The link is in the description.
What?